Plans call for the Fights On concept to include extreme sports athletes, celebrities, and other non-military trained students to see who can get their head around 1v1 jet dogfighting and keep their head while doing it. I'm confident that enough people will get on board with this that will go from filming the pilot to multiple episodes, Lemoyne affirms. But actually making the pilot and attracting further interest will be the yardstick by which C.W. Lemoyne fighter pilot will be measured.
You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting.
3, 2, 1, fight off.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Mondays with Mover. It's Monday, I'm Mover, and today we're going to talk about Fights On, and yes, I failed. There's no easy way to say it. The Fights On Indiegogo campaign, where we were trying to raise enough money to get the show off the ground, so to speak. Is that a so to speak? Just, I don't know. But we were trying to get the show off the ground. $100,000 was just initial cost just to do some of the flight training required and actually get us to a pilot episode, our proof of concept. And we had various levels. If we went higher than that, we could actually do a full pilot episode, 42 minutes. And if we got even more than that, we were going to do 2 episodes, even up to 3 episodes. So we had kind of tiered levels for that. 5% of the proceeds from the fundraiser was going to go to Folds of Honor, which is a military charity that I highly support. They give educational scholarships to children of the fallen or injured in service of our country. So kind of a lot at stake. And as you heard in the opening, that was a Forbes article that was written about it when it first came out, when we were doing it, and when I first announced it. And there was a lot of pressure. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of a lot. And so what happened? Well, we raised just over $30,000, which was not enough to achieve our goal. It actually wasn't even enough to pay for the flight training. So I'll talk about what we're going to do after this, but I want to kind of go through the background a little bit. We have a strong concept. I thought we had a strong chance of raising the 100,000 and then some, because I thought it was just that good of a show. But obviously I'm a little biased because I'm the one who came up with it. But we tried to put everything in place. We have a production company that I have faith in, that I think will do well, and eventually will do well with it. We had 2 very popular gamer influencer, Jeff Favignano and Operator Drewski, both with over 1 million subscribers each. So a big fan base, social media base. A lot of people ask, well, why didn't you get one of the smaller YouTubers? And the whole idea was to get as much traction and get as much word of mouth and try to get the funds raised. So on later episodes, absolutely, we could have done that. But just initially, I wanted to get as much in front of the world as I could. And I thought that picking 2 guys that are good with flight sims, not necessarily just DCS, but flight sims and military sims in general, great attitude, and have the big following, I thought that would help us out. Obviously, I've got my channel with 310,000 subscribers. I thought even my channel alone would be able to do that. We've got Gonky in place as the co-host. He and I have a good chemistry on camera and just as friends. So I thought, for sure that would work, especially after what we did with, the F-18 DCS dogfighting thing a long time ago. That thing's got a couple million views now. But yeah, I thought we had all the pieces in place to at least get the 100,000, which would have raised the money. Now, some people have asked, well, I can't imagine jets are that expensive, because I talked about the flight training or the flight part being $39,000, and you got to understand the S-211s are cheap. I mean, they're very cheap to operate for jets. And but the problem is neither Gonky nor I are qualified in it. So getting checked out in order to do it was kind of the first hurdle. But then the amortization rate of that cost spread out over a 10 or 12 episode season wouldn't have been a big deal. And for these jets, it was fairly cost efficient to operate, and it wasn't going to be a huge deal, especially when you consider how much other TV series cost, just without aviation. So the fact that we were doing jets, I thought for sure we were in a good position to do that with the Indiegogo campaign. So with that said, we hit the end of the campaign, didn't reach our goal, and now what? So immediately I refunded anyone over $100. I know initially I said that we were going to donate all of it to Folds of Honor, but we did have some that did executive producer credits, which are $10,000 a piece. We had some that were trying to do the DCS at $690. So anyone over $100, I refunded because we're not going to be able to fulfill those right now. And so that's not going to happen. For under 100, I sent out an email for the Indiegogo campaign, and it's your choice. If you haven't seen the email, check it out. Haven't seen the post, check it out, but it's your choice. My plan right now, if you take away everything over $100, it's about $9,000 net. It's $8,500 right now. Indiegogo takes about $500 for receipts and stuff like that, just in case people do chargebacks. And then they'll release the last $500. So it's about $9,000 as it sits with 299 backers. And my plan is to donate that to Folds of Honor. Just direct, here you go to Folds of Honor. That'll be almost 2 scholarships. So a scholarship's about $5,000. So just short of 2 scholarships, which is awesome. And that's what we're doing here. We're turning a disappointing thing into a very positive thing with a very big donation to Folds of Honor. The perks that were offered for those categories, the $50, the $100, the $5, all that stuff, we're still going to be able to do. We're going to turn on the Discord access here shortly. We're still going to be able to do the live Q&A with Gonky, which we'll talk about setting up for the private live Q&A for those that pick that perk. But the show is still going to happen. I have no doubt that we are going to succeed. I have no doubt that eventually we are going to find a way. We are in talks with private investors. That's one of the greatest things about this, is that it brought awareness and brought some very serious players to the table that wanted to invest. Didn't want to donate as Indiegogo, but they actually wanted to make investments and actually see the show succeed and see it take off and actually become a real thing. So all is not lost. Obviously, yeah, that's the yardstick by which I'm measured, and if that's the only yardstick we're using, then yeah, I didn't achieve that goal. But honestly, it's just a small stumble. In the end, we're going to succeed. We're going to make the show. On what timeline we do it, I don't know. It's obviously, if we'd have done the Indiegogo and gotten 300,000, yeah, we'd be filming in July, and hell yeah, that the pilot episode would be available almost immediately. Since we don't have that, the timeline might shift a little bit, but it's still going to happen. I'm still confident that we have the right people in place to do it. I'm still confident that it's going to be a good concept and a good show, and I'm excited to share it with everybody. I take ownership. I overestimated my own reach. I realizing 300,000 subscribers, you kind of do the math and go, well, hell, everybody just gives $1 and then we're done, right? Or even 50 cents. But at the time, I didn't realize, the analytics. We've talked about that, about YouTube subscribers and all that stuff, and it ebbs and flows. And, I'd gone from 2 million views a month down to, 800,000. So a big analytic shift over the time period we're talking. Obviously, I had some stuff come up, Sniper with his cancer surgery and all that stuff. So a little personal stuff, and I didn't put as much effort into it as I should have, and I take full responsibility for us not being able to reach that goal. However, at the end of the day, the goal is still to make the show, and I think we will do that. So for those of you that donated, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of you that we're behind this project, and we're excited about this project. Please keep watching. It's going to happen. It's just, not going to be, it's like Top Gun Maverick, it may not be the timeline we initially wanted, but I mean, just, it'll happen eventually. So please let me know if you want your donation. If you haven't seen the email, support at fightsontv.com. If you want your donation refunded, or you can use the website to refund your donation. Otherwise, it's going to go to Folds of Honor. So I'm not taking a dime. I'm not taking any money personally from what we raised. I don't want the money. So all of that is just going to go straight to Folds of Honor as a charity thing. And we're going to turn a negative into something really good. So anyway, that is the update. I'm sorry it's not better news, but I am hopeful and confident that we will have something really special in the future. So hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.